Hi everyone, welcome to Money Tip Monday on Financial Index, brought to you by Inhlanyelo Finance, planting the seed of smart finance. So today on topics to be covered, we will be discussing debit orders. So obviously we're going to start with the obvious question, what is a debit order? This is an instruction to the bank from the account holder to give a specific third party permission to collect money directly from their bank account. So I'm giving someone else, apart from me and my bank, permission to take money from my personal account to pay off something or to pay that particular person depending on the agreement that I have with them. So there are many advantages because debit orders are very, very convenient. I know a few people that sometimes forget to pay some of their accounts. I'm not sure if it's on purpose or they just really have a bad memory, but they forget, and debit orders are very helpful. So they'll go off every time you get paid and your accounts remain up to date. And it really saves us time because back when it's not even that long ago, you used to stand in a line at the bank with that small slip that you fill in with all the information, and you had to take your money in cash and go queue in that long line for all the tellers before you were actually able to make a payment. And it would be really, really full round about the time for payday because everybody wants to settle their accounts. So of course there's disadvantages. For every good there's a bad. So now, sometimes it comes that maybe let's say you had a 12-month contract with, let's say, a gym, and then that contract expires, you've served your 12 months, you've paid them, and then you decide that you no longer want to go, which is a valid reason. The contract has ended, and then they start billing you on a month-to-month basis. So sometimes this happens and is a fine print in the contract, but you are going to see this debit order and you're going to be like, no, 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 no. No, no, no. They're taking my money. They're not supposed to. And instead of taking it up with the company, you're going to dispute your debit order, right? Of course, this will be at a fee because nothing's for free, right? So you dispute the debit order, the bank gives you back your money, and each month this happens on and on and on and on until eventually maybe you decide to take it up with the third party. But then on the third party side, it looks like you're refusing to pay your debts. You have a contractual obligation in some cases to pay them and you are not, right? So your debt keeps growing. And what they sometimes do is that they'll keep quiet and keep trying to deduct money from your account. And after maybe a year, or the time differs, it varies according to different third parties and the subscription on the contract that you have. And then suddenly they'll serve you with the notice. They want this huge amount of money. You're going to also have to pay the legal fees. It becomes I know this is like a slippery slope argument, but then it becomes a really unnecessary process, right? And as a result, you could be blacklisted for this, and it negatively affects your credit record. So a charge by the third party for the instruction not going through also comes into play. So sometimes they call them late fees or a penalty. So for them having sent that instruction to your bank that, listen guys, we're here to take this money because it belongs to us, and it didn't go through, let's say perhaps because you didn't have enough money in your account, they charge you for that. So your bank on your side might charge you like maybe 8 rand, 10 rand, depending on what bank you bank with. The third party could charge you anything from 0 to 400 rand, 500 rand, depending on what you need to pay them for. And there's a set amount, like as well with data or SIM card contracts. You'll miss one payment and it bounces, and then they'll charge you double the amount for that month because the debit order bounced. So even if you pay a few days later, let's say the debit order went off on the 25th and maybe you got paid late at work, and then you only get money on the 27th, so your debit orders bounce. So even if you pay them on the 27th via EFT or directly at a branch, that fee still applies. They're still going to want you to pay them that amount. And this negatively affects your credit record in the sense that it looks like you don't want to pay your debts, whether they are there or whether it's a mistake, an error on the third party side, or you actually could not pay. This reduces your credit score. And remember that your credit score is important because it links to everything financially. When you want to apply for a home loan, when you want to apply for a car loan, when you want to purchase something on contract, they look at your credit score. And if it keeps taking a knock like this, now let's consider the fact that you're going to pay them on the 27th because you got paid late. Now there's that fee, that penalty fee that they've charged you that you don't want to take care of. So they're going to try and deduct that amount of money as well, and it's not going to go through. So it becomes a cycle of you just constantly trying to pay that interest instead of actually paying the subscription that you're supposed to pay. So, moral of the story, to avoid a very, very sad and broke queue, make sure that all your debit orders go off on time. And if maybe you are in a position where you can't properly state how on which day you get paid, sometimes you get paid on the 24th, sometimes on the 26th, rather than have a debit order, go pay physically. That is also an option where you go pay by yourself. You can stand in those queues, or you can do an EFT. And then they won't charge you these late fees, and then they also won't have to penalize you and won't incur all these interest charges. Right? So please leave your questions and comments down below, and I will be sure to get back to you. Also, remember, we are not a registered financial services provider. So if you need really hectic advice, please contact your nearest service provider. But in the meantime, please like and subscribe and share the video if you found it helpful.